Morning, morning. All right, guys. Hey, good morning. As many of you guys know, I don't typically do my morning huddles here on Sunday or Saturdays. Day ahead of myself. But with the crypto, the copy trade, all that, I figured I'll go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and jump into a few things. The difference is I'm not going to cover the SPY too much, like the stocks and all that, but we will take a quick look here. As you guys know, I like to kind of show the plays that we did yesterday. So yesterday, if you're in the community, you guys know, I kind of ended up a little bit busy. I got a flat tire, so I had to deal with that with my car. But I was able to sneak a few trades in there, and I just wanted to kind of show you guys how that played out, how our indicators did, so on. So you can see the market opened about right here, and you can see we already had a short call here that we were in. Nothing called a long yet, nothing flipped, right? So I seen the pump up here, to around 442 or 50 or so. I didn't end up taking this short right away because we were already kind of in a short call. So I waited a little bit. I saw the pounce here with a little bit of a pump up, waited for this one. We did get a long call here. As you guys know, I'm mostly staying put, so I did not take that. We ended up waiting, super patient. I did not take my first trade until I think it was right around here, because what I was playing at is I saw the head and shoulder that played through here. Also, you have it off of my trend line. We had the Cypher N-Star, the double top, come through. And so right around this shoulder here, I ended up entering my short. It was kind of cool because I held it through, and I was actually thinking about closing it somewhere in here, but I saw this support line, right? So I was like, maybe we'll close it out a little early. I was in some nice profit. Saw this kind of support level down here as well, and then I saw it throw a short, and it was kind of funny. I actually had my page open to close it, and I saw the short throw through, so I held on to it a little bit longer. I held it through here, somewhere in this area. When I saw this bounce, my trailing stop got me out. So I did not get the rest here, but I did get a nice trade there, called from all the indicators here. So it just played out really well. I only took that trade. I didn't take really anything else. Just as we got close to the end of the day, you guys know how I feel on Fridays with that. So that's basically how it played out. If you look at the overall SPY, guys, it's funny because I always get like side messages or emails, when I'm talking about staying short, or I'm like, oh man, we're due for a pullback, and people see this stuff and they're always like, oh no, we're going to the moon, and I'm like, it's like I said yesterday. You go to the 6 hour. I mean, we're just so over. Bought, it's not funny. I mean, we reached 86 right on the RSI line here. You can see, we're still hanging around 71 even with that little pullback we had, right? So we're still over that 70. And you can see here, on the 4 hour, we're still over that 70. If you go to that 1 hour, right, is the only time that we actually broke it. But if you remember, if you guys watched the recording yesterday, we talked about we had that bearish divergence, right? We had 3 points, we had our 3 points, and then we began our descent. So, I don't think that we're done, going back down. I think that, when we open up on Monday, it'll probably like try to push up a little bit, pull down a little bit. We're likely to find some support somewhere in here around 437 before we maybe 439, 437, somewhere in here, right, because of this previous levels. And it'll try to hold it, and if it can't hold it, it's going to pull down. Could have kind of like a early phase of a head and shoulder forming here too, so just keep an eye on that. So we're going to go into, I'm not going to touch too much on the Dixie, guys. Dixie pulled down, we talked about already. We talked about this yellow line. We fell below it. It's been just holding resistance. So likelihood is we're going to pull possibly back to here unless we reclaim this yellow line. It's like 101. That's going to impact the market. So, as we get into this level here, I think this is where we're going to get our big bounce, which will likely pull the markets down depending where they are at that point. You got Apple, guys. As you guys were following Apple Thursday, it just continuously shattered all-time highs. You can see up here. Friday around 1 p.m. it tried to chase it, but notice how it's creating its lower high, and we actually created from here our lower low, right? If you look at it, we had a nice little wick, if you can see my screen here, right here, creating an actual lower low for them that as well. So it did wick up, wick down, kind of close up here, but we did create a lower low and a lower high. So you just want to kind of be careful on Apple, because you do kind of have, this kind of three peak, head and shoulder type pattern. You can kind of see here, this right here would be somewhat of the neckline. It did bounce down and then come back up, and that would be a retest in the neckline, and then it closed, right? So closing a very bearish pattern, so we'll see. Crypto, let's touch on. You guys in the room kind of know that I just talked about yesterday how typically when you go into these holiday weekends, people get in the mood of wanting to buy, right? Mother's Day did the same thing. Father's Day just did the same thing. They tend to push north, right, a lot. And so yesterday, around 1 a.m. or so, I did the same thing. But keep a close eye on this, guys. We have an interesting situation we're in, I guess, is the way I'm looking at it, because if you look back here on the 2 minutes, so yesterday we had this pump up here around 1 p.m., kind of went sideways, right? Had another nice little pump up here Friday. So this one was Thursday around 1 p.m. This was Friday around 1 p.m. We had our nice little kind of bull flag, right? We had our falling channel, and it pumped up again. And this one was around 1 a.m. And then you look here, we do have our kind of push up, and then, kind of another like falling channel, right? Which typically these ones, like to break up one more time. The only reason why I say be careful is most runs typically happen in threes, and we've already had a 1, 2, 3 push, right? So, from a localized 2 minute standpoint, we are still calling along on our indicators, so that's indicating a little bit, further northern push. We talked about yesterday the high being somewhere around the 26.5, I think 26.8. I don't know that I mentioned 26.8. I think I was aiming for 26.5, which you can see we did hit, and we rejected, and we just blew through this, over the weekend, right? So, looking at this, I mean, the place that you're going to really hit your head that you got to look for is the 27.4. That's that trend line. We also have about 27.2. The zone tracker's picking it up. So let's take a look at that trend line. So we are a little bit off on this wick here. We have this wick and we have this wick, right, that it's hitting. So I'm going to leave that there. It's not a super strong, but it is a 2-point, and then this one couldn't even make it. We could lower it down to touch this point, right, but at the end of the day, it's going to be somewhere in that range, right, which would be that 27.2, 27.4, something like that. Keep in mind, though, guys, on the 1 hour, we are in a little bit of a bearish divergence here. You guys can see, we had our higher high here, we have our lower high here, but we have not broken red. So, if you look at here, we got the 21 SMA that we just bounced off of. If we can hold this 21 SMA, or we can hold 26.5 as support, right, and it can continue like this throughout today, then I can see a likelihood of us pushing up one more time for that 27.2. So just be careful of this area. I suspect that if we push up to here, right, this is going to be the likelihood of where we have our rejection. So if we can even get up to that point. The thing about these type of patterns, right, is we may have one more push up and then a breakdown, right, which would create kind of like that early phase head and shoulder, right? So that would be what I would look for that possible reversal down. So a retest of 25.9 would not surprise me, because on the 1 hour that would be the 200. So if you see a break below this SMA, which is 26,430, so we're not far off it, and then we hold as resistance, I would suspect that we would break down, retest that, and create a squeeze. We would need to hold support here to continue to move up. So that would look something like, so you would have it like this. Let's say you find a little bit of bounce here, which creates that double top, comes down, rejects, right? It would create a squeeze, right? That would do this. You would need a double bottom of sort and that squeeze, then a break above, right? A retest of that neckline, and then that would push us up, something like that, right? And so that's how you can get sort of a fake out head and shoulder, right? Because if it looks like a head and shoulder, like it's going to reverse, but we come down to around 26 and we get that double bottom, right, that would break you north like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Keep in mind, guys, I'm not really trading today or tomorrow. I have family coming out, and we have Father's Day tomorrow. I don't want to be stuck in trades, but some people have mentioned that they wanted to do some trading, so I said I would throw out some TA for you. And I know some people are stuck in trades that are trying to get out of those. So Ethereum's interesting because if you look at the 1 hour, it's looking almost as strong, if not stronger than Bitcoin, because you have your fall. It didn't quite fall as far as Bitcoin did, but look at this line, right, that it hit. I mean, literally hit off of our white line. Let's go back. And I want to show you, see this right here? So you have this pullback right here that is derived off of this right here, right? And I want to show you that because if you go to Bitcoin, we'll go to like the 4 hour. That is equivalent to Bitcoin hitting this line here, right? So you have here. So Bitcoin actually didn't even really make it down to that lower line like Ethereum did, right? So the reason why, although that doesn't seem stronger, and be silly why I say ETH is looking stronger, because if Bitcoin found a higher low than even that trend line, right, Bitcoin would be looking stronger. But keep in mind, the last time that Bitcoin or ETH hit this line here, right, they shot up like crazy. And so you can see it hit this line here and we shot up here. The only reason why we stalled where we stalled is because of this level here. And so if you look at my video yesterday, this is literally the level that I had called. Was somewhere around 1740 to 1780 because of this level here, right? And it literally hit it and rejected, if you look, almost exactly where this peak was here, right at, we actually hit 1774. So I was a little closer on the call in ETH than Bitcoin. But that's how I kind of came up with that call there. Now Ethereum has the bearish divergence on the 1 hour as well, not quite as strong as Bitcoin's, but it's there. We have not flipped red on here, but we are starting to look a little weak. We were overbought on the RSI on the 1 hour. We have not flipped on the gap fill, and the gap fill percent's not too bad. So for me to remain bullish on Ethereum, I'd want to have it hold above this level, which is 1734, which is like literally at, which that would be your 200 EMA on the 1 hour. So if we can hold above this one, then that's going to push us up. The upper level I see is around maybe 1840 or so for the upper, and that would all depend on us breaking this 1780 level. So, and we may see a little bit of bump, right here on 1825. So for us to have an absolute explosion to get back to this 1920 range, we would probably need to hold support here for a little bit, maybe today. Let this RSI kind of cool down a little bit. Once it cools down a little bit, right, create some corner kind of double bottom and then or ascending triangle, something that is going to allow it to break through, and then that would curve it back up, right, and then it will have enough support to push it up. So that's kind of where I'm at with ETH. Let's take a look at our ATAs. So I want to talk a little bit about the ATAs. As you guys know, I had 3 trades that I was in left. I purposely scaled back on the copy trade because there was some people that did get that big get notice that wanted to get out of a few of their trades. So I did want to give you that opportunity to do so. Hopefully you did so, because there's a lot of people that are still wanting to run it because they did not get a notice or they're not in the US, right? So I'm going to execute some trades today to get that back working. So we'll start off with LTC, right? LTC would have actually crushed this long, so that would have been awesome. But as I said, we wanted to give people an opportunity to get out of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and start up an LTC again. Simple thing I have to do, guys, to start these up is do the DCA just like we said. All I have to do is move this date to today, so that's the 17th at 8:46, and then we just double check all that. Perfect. Now I just need to make sure I get my yellow candle. Once I get my yellow candle, I'll reset my stats, and we'll come in here. We're gonna add an alert, ATA, LTC long. All right, and so if you guys are copy trading, if you don't want to take LTCs or you don't want to take anything else because you're working your way out, please make sure you go to your dashboard, turn it off, because LTC will be back in action. And then we do have our long set. Let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and do the short as well. You can see the short right here would have been stuck a little bit, not too bad, but so it kind of worked out. We paused that one. I always recommend muting that one when you're not working on it. So let's go into here, and we will start this one as well. We're just going to leave one DCA. 8:47. So that way we can work our way out of anything we need to. There we go. All right, so we are back in business on LTC. So now we are running our LTC short, LTC long, ETH short, BTC short, and Aave long. Let's check in on Aave because we are only running along on Aave, and I believe we were stuck. So actually, I know we already got out because look, we have Aave closed order. So let's see. So we got out of Aave. Awesome. Let's take a look. Oh, looks like we just got out. Actually, we got out really good profit here too. Look, so we ended up making about 55 bucks out of that. So Aave ended up coming out strong. Did get another trade here. So we do want to take that second DCA away. So I'm going to pull that second DCA away because we don't need it anymore. We don't have to change anything else. All I have to do is come in here with my Aave long. We're going to delete that. We're going to add alert. Aave long. There we go. And we're back in Aave. So when I delete the alert and I add it back, guys, it doesn't change anything on here. So I'm still in that long. It doesn't change nothing. I just simply pulled that second DCA out, so I can manually put that in if I need to. So Aave is back to earning. So let's take a look at our BTC and ETH long. Kind of sucks, we did have that pump and we stopped it, but like I said, I wanted to give people opportunity to get out of stuff. So let's see where the short is. I don't think I did a DCA yet on ETH short. No. So let's do a second DCA on ETH short, guys. But I'm gonna put it a little bit higher because we're just gonna be we're gonna be patient on this in case we get a pump. So my anticipation is a pump up to as high as 1870 or so. So let's do a DCA somewhere up in here. So let's push this up just a little bit higher. We don't need to go too much higher because remember we have a DCA 3 that we can do, but not 110 or 1110. Let's do 11%. See where that puts it. Somewhere in here is where I'm aiming. let's go 1% and we should be good. I'm doing this intentionally, guys, because here's my entry. Here's my DCA. I know that the second one is going to bring it up more than half, so I want to pull it into here somewhere, right? So it'll pull it above there. This way, if I do have a hardcore pump to 21 or 2K, I do that third DCA, it's going to pull me up into here, right? Up into that 1900 range. So that's kind of why I make these plans to do that. So, yeah, I think I'm good with that. So let's do this ETH short. And I want to set this, guys, not aggressive, but I want to set it because, again, I'm not going to watch too much today and tomorrow. ATA ETH shorts. So we're just creating the alert again because we did make a change. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the long. And the long one did really well. But that's all right. Let's go back into here. Again, just like the other one, all we have to do is change the date. So 17/8/51. There it is, our yellow candle. So let's put this one back in. We'll put ETH long back to work. And there's the alert. Perfect. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin, and then that'll be the last one. I'm not going to overextend anything today. All right, so Bitcoin short, did it get that DCA? Oh, look at this, it hit my DCA line perfectly and didn't take it. The DCA line I have is 26.9. I'm gonna push this up a little more, actually, guys. Let's see where 9%. Let's get a little closer to that red line, just because I do think we have a falling channel here. We're gonna get one more little push up. 27.2 might be a little high, because I think that's where we're gonna come close to rejecting. So let's say 8.5. It's 27K. Okay. It's not a big change, you know, but we'll move it up just a little bit. All right, we'll just name it, set the alert, and we're rocking and rolling. All right, let's take a look at the long. Oh man, look at that Bitcoin long it caught on the pump. Nailed that pump. That's awesome. Caught the buy and sold it up here at the peak right at the 130. That is awesome. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to take off the second DCA because we don't need that. We did get out of our Bitcoin there. And then just like the other ones, we're just going to change the time. You guys kind of get the idea how easy this is to set this up. Those who don't know, if you're watching on TikTok there. And let's see. So we got that. We do have our one DCA. All right, we're good. So let's set this alert. All right, guys, and we are back in action. So we're running Aave long, BTC long and short, ETH long and short, LTC long and short. And that's all I'm going to run today and tomorrow. We'll reassess it on Monday. I'm not going to do anything with it on tomorrow, but as you guys know, those of you in the community who are trying to scale out a BitGet, you know, if you guys need help with levels, I mean, let me know. Unfortunately, you know, you're at the mercy of the market with time because, you know, there's no crystal ball, right? We can just take a look at the TA and take the best, you know, guess that we can. You know, I think that we do have a very high chance of hitting, you know, 27K on the Bitcoin side. If we reject off 27.2, you know, we could have a nice little pullback, right? But at the end of the day, you know, like we talked about, crypto seems to be a little bit behind the market, and the market is, you know, ridiculously up. And there's a lot of news, you know, that you had the news that came out with China think it was Hong Kong talking to the banks about letting them accept crypto and stuff like that. So all those things are going to be bullish. Just there's a lot of bearish news with the SEC, but there's a lot of bullish news coming out, and eventually one of them is going to be a little bit greater than the other. So just manage your risk and be careful on that, guys. But that's all I have. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. It is Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And hope you guys have a great weekend. So it's going to be beautiful weather if you're over here on the East Coast. Not sure where you guys are located, but hopefully you do have some great weather. You can go enjoy yourself. So appreciate your time. I'm going to go ahead and end it there, and we will talk to you later. If you guys need me, you know how to contact me inside the community.